My name is McMeddon and I create landscapes and survival worlds in Minecraft. And today we take a look at
Edoximos.
I asked my community what they wish for the next maps to be featured or added or included, and Snapnote wrote a terrain with a color palette that you haven't used before. Moltenoni wrote, okay, so a giant pit. And Raptor wrote under one of my wall posts a really interesting comment that goes, those banded stratations of sedimented rock. This map looks like catnip for geologists. Love the attention to detail. These have been suggestions and ideas from community members of mine that wrote under blog posts and under forum posts what to include into the next words. So I picked a few ideas out that I wanted to try out and implement into one of the biggest words that I create. This is the spawn area. You might see that I can see a little bit further than you. That's thanks to distant horizons and Dibbless shaders. If you want to try it yourself, look at that view. So before we get started, I want to have a brief overview over the map. So we can see that the map is separated into three separate continents. We have the north part, the southeast part, and the south part. The northern part has an island or a chain ring of alpines. These are generation 2. We have further up the Alpine Gen 3 versions and a lot of plains and a lot of biomes between them. In the southeast we have the Highland plateaus, also with a huge variation of wonderful biomes, and we will check this area out in a minute. In the south we have the Alpine Gen 3 or Gen 4 at this point, together with a desert, a red desert, and the Mesa Plateau. Above this continent, between the main continent and the southern continent, we have a huge volcano range that we can also take a look at. As the man with the brush once said, there are no mistakes, there are only happy accidents. And this is quite accurate for my worlds too. So I have many overlapping features and many overlapping terrain types and biomes, and often they can intertwine and create really interesting terrains and combinations, like this one. So we have here a ridge that is carving through the landscape, going all the way down to sea level. And overlapping with that we have an elevated terrain that is going all further up by 20-30 blocks like that. And then we have also like this mountain edge that was also trying to be created here, and all of this was carved out by this ridge that formed here and is now filled with a river or with water. And all of that was right next to the village that we traveled from, and it's directly behind the ring mountains from the spawn, away from the village that we were before, to another village, all the way further out into the plains. Found this different spot here that was overlapping with my terrain and got quite a unique landscape here. It gets me thinking. I think I could intertwine this with normal base generation and create something unique out of this. So it's quite bizarre to see it right now. It's the first time that I see it too. But it's so unique and nice. I think I might incorporate this into a different biome type. To travel around the world, you will find many structures like this cow spawner or this little ship that you can find always in rivers. In fact, did you... Oh. Fire. Anyway, did you know that in one of the recent changes for my worlds, I changed the floor for the rivers a little bit even more. So we have sand, gravel, clay, but also now we have a new source for mud. After a recent few learnings that I had, I might even change this to a location-based thing where sand will be more gravel and sand will be differently distributed along rivers. So sand would be all the way at the end of rivers, gravel at the beginning, and maybe clay and mud would be somewhere in the middle. But I have to find I will have to find a balance. Maybe you can let me in the comments know what you think if the blob way would be better because you have all the way to access it from every single location, or if location-based system would be uniquer and nicer. Anyway, let's go on. Oh, look at this. It's a waterfall. These little waterfalls are scattered all around the world and can come in different sizes and forms. And as you also can see, they are sometimes not really perfect. So there is a little edge that comes from this moving. And yeah, so with this I can say, I can give a little disclaimer that my perfects aren't perfect. And my words aren't perfect. But I try my best to get rid of stuff like this, where a single pixel can decide if the water flows in the correct way or not. Let me see if I can find a better example. I did look around a little bit more and found these two waterfalls that are coming into the greater bay. And these waterfalls are quite hard to create actually. So aren't they perfect? No. It's quite hard. But yeah, so this can happen. But I'm not too much bothered by it. I try to fix it most of the times, but sometimes imperfection is also very fun. And I like that. And my perfects are meant to be fun. In the beginning I talked about that I wanted to show you the volcano area, and that's where we are heading right now. So across the desert, behind the ring mountains, all the way across the ridge here, you can see volcano area. As with many other biomes, it can overlap with different biomes. And here we have an oak forest that is overlapping with the volcano biome. And if you're curious if the volcano is filled with lava, have a look. Yes. Yes, they are. The whole area is covered with basalt rocks, tough rocks. Well, tough should be laying on the floor, but it's, I believe, right, it's also beneath here. So it's beneath the black powder under. And yeah, so it's covering the whole area combined with lava pockets and makes this quite a desolate place. Currently, the area is also as plains designated, But I think about to remake it as a Badlands area. Now we are transferring all the way to the south. And the south is for me interesting because there is the point where I want to show you the stratation and the sediments that I implemented into rocks. So the comment from the wall post was mentioning these stratation or the strata sediments that occurred in mesoterranes, like these little lines that go all the way through the terrain, and I was mentioning about the beauty about that. This comment gave me the idea to maybe re-implement this to all of the mountains again. So I tried that. Now we come to my favorite part, or my favorite area. And my favorite area is this one. So let's have a look at the strata that I mentioned about. And the comment that said maybe use a different texturing or a different coloring for the maps. Those two comments led me to reimagine the texturing for my worlds. So I want to try this further out and I want to improve it over time. It's pretty simple at the moment. It has like a few different layers. There are also multiple variations of this. We will see it in a second. But as you can see, this is the general idea that we have sediments displayed at the edges or at the walls of each mountain. Oh, yeah. Here are the differences. So we have layers that have deep slate intertwined, variations in tuff and andesite also included. And this section has more of the diorite included. Here is a closer look where we can see the diorite layers are more dynamic. There are more variations. We have a few layers that are really close together and then separate ones that are really far out. Same on this side. Oh yeah, this one is even more cluttered together. The small detail that I want to highlight is, do you realize the distribution or the creation where the gravel is? So every mountain can create so-called taluses, and these are the sediments that are eroded from the mountain down and flow all the way down. And we have it's combined with flows and taluses that are at the bottom of the mountains, and basically. And now let's head over to the last area that I wanted to show with the Highland plateaus and all the different variations of it that I made for this map. Came here for the terrain, but I definitely wanted to show you this one. Structures around the world are placed really randomly, and this one definitely takes the crown for one of the funniest and best ones. So let's go. Let's have a look around the Highland plateaus. So these are white cliffs. It's a combination out of calcite and diorite. Then we have the mountain texturing for this one. There are also these granite ones that are fully covered, and they have a little transition actually from grass to dirt to rooted dirt and then into diorite to give a little bit of a better transition with natural features or with natural blocks. And there's also a full section with granite strings or layers. Like we've seen before in the Alpine range or with the Alpine area. I must say I'm quite happy with these terrain types. They have a great variation of baseline terrain on the terrain itself. So with these terraces that are really well formed and really dynamic. It makes it really easy to create new buildings there and don't have to tear down the whole mountain in order to make it flat. And then the whole structure is like super tall. I just love it. I just love it. Something that I am really happy with is the combination of the new baseline terrain mask and the cliffs now. It enables me to create these sort of single columns that are just raising above and are a little bit separated from the base plateau, but they're dense enough to basically create a new platform that is single-handedly doing its own thing and can be a standalone, but without being like too jagged or being too disruptive. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you will be up for the next one. If you want to see what my community members tasked me next, click the next video. Bye bye, have a good one.